Hi, welcome all. We shall be discussing the simulation of projectile motion using Euler's method. We shall write the code in Python and we shall execute and see the result. Alright, let us see uh, how one can deal with the projectile motion. So first we will demonstrate motion of a projectile. So this is the horizontal axis, say x-axis, say this is the vertical axis, y-axis. We choose the origin at the point of projection. So we project the body something like this. Okay, this is the only non-information with some speed, say u, at some angle theta. So definitely the body is in a two-dimensional plane. The body moves in a two-dimensional plane. So this is typical example for 2D motion, two-dimensional motion. Okay, so we can split this two-dimensional motion into, so what we are dealing is projectile motion. So you can resolve this into two motion, namely horizontal motion as well as we can call it as horizontal or X motion, and another one is vertical or Y motion. Okay, so let us consider the differential equations of motion along x-axis and y-axis. At some arbitrary point, say somewhere here, the body experiences acceleration only in the downward direction, and that is numerically equal to g. Correct? So this is the only acceleration. So for horizontal motion, there is no acceleration, so that I can write the differential equation as d square x by dt square, acceleration in the x direction. Dx by dt gives the velocity, d square x by dt square gives the acceleration, and that is our acceleration in the x direction is equal to 0. And for vertical motion, the acceleration is d square y by dt square, and that is equal to minus 9.8. So this is about the horizontal motion and this is about the vertical motion. We have already used this equation and we have resolved that into 2. We have to do this thing as well. So I'm going to split these two equations into two first order differential equations. Okay, so first let me discuss how this first equation can be resolved. Okay, so this equation can be resolved like this. We put dx by dt is equal to v, then we'll get dv by dt is equal to 0. Correct? Now you may call this as equation A, which deals with the motion, x motion, and you may call it as equation B. Now you may call this as equation B1 and this as equation B2. You can call this as function f1. The variables are t, x and v. You can call it as v. And this equation you can call it as function 2 x comma v equal to 0. So solving this one, you will get the new position x as previous position x plus h into f1 of these parameters. And solving the second equation, you will get the new velocity as v is equal to previous value of velocity plus h into f2. Correct? And you must calculate the new position as t equal to t plus h. So this will give you all the necessary equation. This one, and this one. Okay. So these are the required equations to simulate the x motion. Now you must have initial values. At t is equal to 0, you know that the position of the body is at the origin, therefore x coordinate is 0. And what is v? It is obviously u cos theta, because it's projected with some velocity u. You can resolve this u into two components. This is the x component, that is ux, which is equal to u cos theta, and you can call this as uy, which is equal to u sin theta. Okay, so v is equal to in this case v is equal to u cos theta. Okay, so I need to specify two velocities, and therefore I call it as vx. So you can call vx as u cos theta. Fine, and this is just to distinguish between the two velocities. Similarly, you can consider the second equation b, that is the differential equation describing vertical motion. So that's really simple. We'll see that. Okay, so as before we do this substitution, we put dy by dt is equal to v. Now we call it as vy. Okay, before I must call this as vx in order to distinguish. Okay, right, vy, and with that we'll call that equation as equation b1. Oh, I made a mistake. You can call this as equation a1 and this as equation a2, right? So you call this as equation b1, and with that substitution, this changes to dvy by dt is equal to minus 9.8. Okay, you can call this as dvx. Okay. So you call this as equation b2. Okay, so you can solve this equation to calculate the new value of y as previous value of y plus h into, you can call these functions respectively as g1 and this as g2. The variables are t, y and vy is equal to vy, and g2 of t, y, vy as minus 9.8. Okay, and therefore y equal to y plus h into g1 of the parameters. Okay, so this will give the new positions of the body of the projectile, and we must calculate the new velocities. Vy equals previous value of vy plus h into g2 of all the parameters. So this will give you the new velocities, and t equals t plus h is used to calculate the new position. Now to begin with, you must know what is the value of y at t is equal to 0. We have told you that it starts at the origin, so y is equal to 0. And what is the velocity? Vy, initially it is u sin theta. Okay, so these are the initial conditions. Correct? Okay, so you must solve both the equations, equation A and equation B, simultaneously, and which are the equations? The first equation A, d square x by dt square is equal to 0 and d square y by dt square is equal to minus 9.8 simultaneously. So that means simultaneously you need to solve both the equations. That means basically you need to solve 4 first order differential equation, 2 from equation A and 2 from equation B, namely A1, A2 and B1, B2. Okay, so this is how we proceed. So what are the iterating steps? You calculate new x, new vx, y, new vy, then new t. So you must iterate these steps. This one first, second, third, fourth and fifth, because you need not do this t equal to t plus h twice. Okay, so this is how we simulate projectile motion using Euler's method. Hope you understood. Let me consider the algorithm. Okay, the algorithm. So we must import both matplotlib and numpy. Then we must define f1, f2, g1 and g2. The next step is to initialize all the values. X is 0, y is equal to 0, t is equal to 0. You must give the value of u as well as you must read the angle. So let me call this a, and that will be in radian, sorry, in degree. That is simple to us. You must convert that into radian. Okay, then you must have calculate Vx as well as Vy. So we initialized everything. Then we discussed we have to hold x values and y values. So we must have two lists to store x values and y values. Then we have to iterately repeat something. We have to calculate new x value, new vx value, new y value, new vy value, new t. So after this loop is over, we are interested only in x and y, so we append x and y in x pose and y pose. Then we'll plot xy graph. Now what all we need, what we require is we must have time of flight that is there in t. Why? Because our last value of t is the time of flight. And what is maximum height? The value corresponding to this point is called maximum height. How will you get it? We already have a list y pose having all the y values. You just get the maximum of that y values. That will be the maximum height. Then we need range. Range is the distance from this point to this point. So that is basically the x coordinate of this point, and that is the last calculated x point. Therefore you just print x value. Okay, we shall be explaining the Python code. Okay, now let's try the Python code for projectile motion. So we'll take a new file. The first step is to import the necessary modules. We import numpy as np, and we import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. Okay, so that's over. The next step is to define all the functions. So define f1 of the variables are t, x, v, and that is to return it's not vx. What we have to return is vx. Return vx. The next step is define f2 of x, return 0. So there is nothing, but purposefully I am writing here because when we deal with a real projectile, there will be some force in the x direction as well as in the y direction due to the viscosity, due to the presence of medium. We shall be discussing that in another video. Right, we define both F1 and F2. Now we have to define two more functions, namely G1 and G2. Okay, the variables are t, y and vy. Here also t, y, vy. Oh, F2 of t comma x comma x. Correct. Okay, so we have defined both G1 and G2. What is G2? Sorry, what is G1? It's Vy. And what is G2? It's negative 9.8. So we already had all the variables. Next step is initialization. So at t equals 0, your x equal to 0, y equals 0, then u equal to, let's input that, input enter the speed of projection, okay. Next step, it is in, I'm writing the code in version 3, so please recall that we must use eval function to convert that into a number. Okay. Next step is you must get the angle, and we'll read the angle of projection A as instead of speed of projection, it is angle of projection. Okay, so we'll convert that into radian. So we just convert that into A is equal to np dot radians of A. So we have converted that into radian, because we know that the numpy function will take only angle, will consider the argument as angle in radian. Okay, so we have converted that into radians. So I obtained all the initial values. Okay, now I need Vx, the initial value of Vx, that is u cos theta. So u star np dot cos of angle is A here. Similarly, we must have Vy equals u star sin theta, so np dot sine of angle A. Okay, so everything is ready. Now I must have to list x pose and y pose. X pose must have the initial value of x, and y pose must have initial value of y. So we are going to plot x versus y. Now I must have some while loop, so we'll discuss the condition. So while this loop, what we have to do is we have to repeatedly do this thing. You must calculate x as x plus h star. Oh, I forgot to initialize h. H is equal to the time step 0.01. Okay, you can try with other values as well. H star f1 of t comma x comma vx. Okay, now we must calculate Vx. So Vx equals previous value of Vx plus h star f2 of t comma x comma Vx. So this will give you the new x values and Vx values. Then you must calculate the y values. So y equals previous value of y plus h star g1 of t comma y comma vy. Okay, and vy equals previous value of vy plus h into g2 of t comma y comma vy, and you must calculate the new time t equals t plus h. What's the next step? You must append both x and y values. So expose dot append x, y pose dot append y. So these are the steps to be iterated. Okay, so these are the steps to be iterated. So once the iteration is over, you must plot everything. Plot. So for that, plt dot plot. What we are plotting is expose versus y pose. So expose comma y pose. Okay, and we will print the range etc. in the next step. First we will execute this much and we will see the result, plt dot show. But there is one more step remaining. We have to add the condition. So what is the condition? So when the body returns to the ground level, its x and y coordinate become 0, and in the next step its y coordinate move to the become negative. So as long as our y coordinate is greater than or equal to 0, greater than or equal to 0, that is not negative, we must do all these things. Now let us save the file. Save as. So it is projectile. Okay, let me save this. Now let me run. There is one printing mistake. It's matplotlib. So you'll see the code. So let us consider some 5 as a speed and some 45 degree as the speed of projection. Wow, we obtained the graph. So I request you to add title, x label, y label, etc. So it's fine. Now what is remaining in the code is you must include some more information. That means you must print the results, something like what is range. So print, first we will calculate time of flight equals comma, it's there in t. Okay, then we have to print another result, print range equals, where is range? Range is the last value of x, so we'll plot that. Now we need to print one more information, print the range. Okay, sorry, maximum height. So maximum height is there in the maximum of y pose. Okay, so let's try this. So the speed of projection is some 5 units. The angle of projection may be taken as some 40 degree. Now you can see the plot. Okay, you can have the time of flight, range and maximum height. Okay, so it works. So you may check the result. You have the formula for time of flight, you have the formula for range, and you have the formula for maximum height. Okay, so that's it. Okay, there is one more assignment. There is one more assignment. So we have to consider air drag. Okay. So when the body moves through air, say with some velocity like this, it will experience a force minus some constant into v in the opposite direction. Therefore, that means when there is some velocity vx and vy, there will be some acceleration in the x direction like this and acceleration in the y direction like this. Okay, so as a result, the equations will change. Before, the first equation was like this: d square x by dt square, that is acceleration in the x direction, was 0, and acceleration in the y direction, that is d square y by dt square, is only minus 9.8, acceleration due to gravity. Now this will be modified into, this will be modified into d square x by dt square is equal to minus some constant into vx, and this equation d square y by dt square is equal to minus 9.8 minus some constant into vy. Okay, right? So this equation can be resolved into dx by dt is equal to vx. This is our first equation, a1, and the second one is dvx by dt is equal to minus k into vx. So this is a2. Before it was 0, right? Now it is there. Similarly, your equation b can be resolved into dy by dt is equal to vy, and with that dvy by dt is equal to minus 9.8 minus k into vy. Equation b1 and equation b2. Okay, fine. Now you can see some modification. Okay, so this was our previous f1, no change, g1, no change, but for f2 there is some change. Before it was 0, so you have to add this as f2, and so it has changed, and g2 also has changed. Before there was only minus 9.8, now there is an additional term minus kvy. So with this modification, our projectile, simulation of projectile move with by considering air drag is possible. So you please try. So please note that your graph looks something like this. Before it was a symmetric parabola, but when you try the projectile by considering the air drag, you will notice something like this, some deformation, something like this, and all of a sudden it falls like this. Okay, so please see that. Okay, so this is for air drag. By considering air drag, will not be a symmetric parabola, and this is no air drag, so it's a parabola, symmetric parabola. That's it. Okay, we have discussed the simulation of projectile using Euler's method, and I request you to try assignment. So you just make the necessary modification. I shall be sharing those code in Moodle. So, but I request you to try that modifications with the different air drags and see the result. Thank you.